Hello, it's me again for the third and final time. So, if you've watched the last two episodes, you would know that I've been talking about how our recording software messed up. This is the third section of the first recording, so the final section. So, it doesn't have the Windows player, thankfully, but it doesn't start with an intro because this was the second recording of our first session. So that's why there's no intro, but everything else should be normal. So please enjoy. Maybe there was a limit. I don't know.
Uh, oh well.
I have
So
never
yeah,
I have never recorded that long before.
Red is a failure. She's a failure as a YouTuber, a failure as a human. She doesn't know how to YouTube right.
I like Minish Cap from what I played.
Yeah, before the rough cut. I never played it, but I did see playthroughs of it, it looks really fun. Like the actual hat being your companion is pretty funny. And Zelda in that game is actually your childhood friend,
Yeah,
so
and
you have a
Marty is an
reason to
interesting
save her.
villain. So yeah, it is I find it's a good game, especially the switching between sizes. It's the only top-down Zelda I actually played for quite a while. Never finished it though.
I've never finished a top-down Zelda.
I made it to I think 11 or 12 hearts in the first Legend of Zelda, but I never beat it. Mostly because I couldn't figure out where to go from where I was.
The old man show you his penis.
Yes.
There's help, Red. The
There's actually
dueling peak.
indications in Twilight Princess that Dueling Peaks generally once was one mountain.
That's what I call Red's boobs. The dueling peaks.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you.
Why
I'll
did we
be here all
invite? Why
night.
did we invite you again?
I don't know.
But yeah, if you look
Probably
at the
because you
map
couldn't trust
in
yourself to deliver the comedy.
To be honest, yeah.
I bring top tier comedy here.
Yeah, if you look at the map in the in the ancient temple in Tears of the Kingdom, you actually see Dueling Peaks is depicted as a single large mountain and not, well, Dueling Peaks. So somewhere between the time where King Waru ruled and Breath of the Wild, the mountain split in two.
What do you think caused it? You think it was like an earthquake?
That's the most likely. The
Because
only other
it would take a long time for water erosion to do that.
There is another possibility. Like, we don't know how long Waru was before. Uh,
No, I'm pretty sure to do that would take literally like millions of years.
Nah,
yeah,
it
no,
was
that's why I think
Ganondorf's
it's
big dick. He split it in two. He's like,
no.
fuck
What
that
I think
mountain.
happened
And he
is it's
split it in
possible that
two.
maybe Calamity Ganon once broke free from there.
Calamity Ganon used his dick to fuck
He
that
doesn't have
mountain.
one.
You
He,
don't know
he,
that.
he,
Alternatively, it could have been purposefully split apart by the Sheikah. Maybe that's how they tested the lasers of the
there actually
Divine
is
Beast.
like there actually is like there's a mountain that has a hole in it that was
Mm,
and that was a laser from one of the divine beasts. I don't remember which
yeah.
one it was.
So it
And
is possible that this was purposefully carved by the Sheikah, maybe as a shortcut.
and the that whole portion of the mountain is like smooth because of the heat of the laser. And you can't climb up it.
Yeah, that is assumed to be a misfire from doing the battle 10,000 years ago. Well, this
And
one
we've
is
all had
well,
our
no, this one isn't
misfires,
as
am I right?
smooth. This one isn't smooth, so it probably wasn't that. It probably was doing the fight against Calamity Ganon. It's possible that this was caused by Calamity Ganon himself. Oh yeah, it was a massive earthquake.
It has to be one of the two because there's no way it was water erosion.
I would go to Kakariko village first.
I'm going to. I'm just marking it.
Okay. But yeah, not many. I haven't seen many theories about what Dueling Peaks happen to it. Most, I think, just go with earthquake or combat damage in some shape.
I have
Because
many
those are the
that
most
suggest
likely
it.
options. I can't think of anything else. Mining, perhaps, but doesn't really look like a mine.
Nah, I still think it was Ganondorf's dick.
So could have been the Sheikah. Oh, it could have been that there is our Sheikah towers on top of the mountain. It's possible that as they were digging those, maybe they triggered an earthquake and that caused the mountain to split.
Oh, I walked right past it. I'll go do this one first. Oh, I don't have enough stamina for that. Hey, look, it's the horses I'll never use.
Ah,
The Big Twin Bridge. That's what they call my penis.
Good for you.
Uh,
Hey, you want
yeah.
to hear how I'm incompetent?
sure.
Oh,
Uh,
please, implore us.
I did not figure out that this was supposed to be how you're supposed to get past these until like my second playthrough of this game, I think.
Oh,
I can't remember how I got past it before my
I
first time,
just
but
climbed the mountain and paraglided down to it.
yeah.
Seriously? You're
I
both idiots.
never connected that you're supposed to use cryonite. That makes so much sense. I
You're
because the
both morons.
because the trial is you use cryonesis for it.
I never put that together. I always thought it was such a pain in the ass that I have to climb this mountain and parachute down. Like, why isn't there an easier way to do this? This is such a pain. I'm also,
I mean, that's one of the
this,
great things about Breath of the
this
Wild is that technically there are so many different ways that
red,
you can
red,
do the
red, red,
game.
red, red, red,
What?
red, red, red. Stop. This puzzle, I felt so stupid about this puzzle. You want to know why?
Why?
Because what I did was I paraglided over there, right? And I used the cryonesis pillars to climb up there. To climb up there, because I thought I had to manually stop
Oh
the
god.
all myself. And I tried that for way too long. I personally just went over there and tried to stop the ball.
It looks
Like
like you.
never in my head did it occur to me to do it from the other side of the stadium.
I guess you could say you dropped the ball.
Boo.
Oh god, it hurts to do that.
Get it? You dropped the ball.
Uh,
Drop the ball.
uh,
Ha.
I'm
Red,
hilarious.
is this good comedy? Are we really delivering that comedy for you?
I think so.
Hey, I made Red laugh with some of my puns. I literally burst out laughing. So you cannot say that I'm
Yeah, but
completely
that's
unfunny.
like 1 in 100 that you actually do that. So, do either of you two like? I know we've been talking about Zelda. Are there any other like?
Oh no shit.
Are there any like any of the other major Nintendo franchises that you guys like do stuff with? Because I really don't.
Besides Pokemon,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been a Mario fanboy my whole life, and I've been a Pokemon fanboy my whole life, but outside of that, not really.
Like I was talking to Zero about this earlier. I
I think Neppy blue screened.
I like you have like Mario, which is I've played like 3 Mario games, and Odyssey's the
Woohoo!
only one that I've beaten. Then I have like Metroid, where I played Dread and finished the first area, but nothing more than that. But
I
and then
was
I
insisted
had
as a
some
kid that his name was Metroid.
when I was little. I played uh, the Metroid Prime 2 multiplayer with my friends because I thought it was super fun. And then they tried to guide me through the first game, but I
I'm
was too
gonna play the
incompetent.
first game with her.
Yeah,
That will be
I
fun.
have it. I bought it on the Switch when it came out, and I'm gonna be playing that at some point. And
That will
that's
be a
pretty much all my
disaster.
experience with Metroid.
I have never touched a Metroid game, honestly.
Metroid
It
Prime is the
just
only one that's gameplay actually appeals to me.
like the only thing I know about Metroid is Samus is big, muscular, hot blonde girl.
She isn't even that masculine, if I'm honest.
That's pretty much my only knowledge. Um, yeah, outside of like Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon, all the other Nintendo franchises, I just
I've never played a Kirby game. Not
neither
really.
have I, honestly.
I have, and I really wish I didn't. I did buy the robot game for 3DS when it came out. I kind of punched my face that I didn't. It looks so good. Kirby is brilliant.
Kirby is just it's a very like I know like Nintendo is just child friendly, but that those games are like made for like toddlers.
Well, unless you dive into the lore, where you then suddenly speak about ancient demons that have been sealed away for centuries, suicide, death cults, and other completely fucked up shit.
Yeah, well, that's just like every Nintendo game though. Like it's child friendly on the surface, but when you actually look at it, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
Even
and Kirby's
yeah,
the king
stuff
of
like
that.
that.
Like, Kirby lore is actually genuinely fascinating. And it can be seriously fucked up at
Nice
times.
first try.
Nice.
Like
Otherwise,
honestly,
I played Tropical Freeze when it came out on the Wii U, but I
oh
didn't
yeah,
really.
Donkey Kong. I played like you know that like the Game Boy Donkey Kong 94.
I
I
never.
played the
No.
fuck out of that game. That's such a
I
fun
didn't even know
game.
there was a Game Boy one.
Skill.
Dude, you should play it. It is such a fun
Ooh.
game. Like it
That is
pretty much takes like the original Donkey Kong for the arcade
Oh, it's right there. Oh,
and it just improves on it. There's like a for a Game Boy game, there's like 150 levels.
wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. And I did play Donkey Kong Country with my friend Danny. We like played co-op on Donkey Kong Country
Yeah.
1 and
Yeah,
it
these
was
games
pretty
are too
fun.
difficult for me.
He pretty much carried me through it because he's like a self-admitted casual god at Donkey Kong Country. So
The only like Donkey Kong related thing I've ever played is Mario versus Donkey Kong.
But yeah, honestly, I've never really exposed myself to other Nintendo like games. Like
Yeah,
Which is funny
I never
considering
played
this.
Animal
I've played
Crossing.
I play the Switch more than anything else. I think
I
the
never
only other
played
console
Bomberman
I've played
either.
more is possibly the 360.
I never played Pikmin either.
That
Mm.
I have played.
Kid Icarus, like no,
Yeah, but that's because
obviously.
the 3DS game is a bit hard to play. I wish they would port it to Switch,
Well, they're not going to.
which sucks because the game is hilarious. Especially
What other
Hades.
Nintendo
Hades is like
franchises are there? Um, does,
Bomberman, if that counts.
I never
Although not
played
really,
Banjo
it's
Kazooie.
multi-platform. I love these games. I'm waiting for them to finally put Banjo Tooie on the N64 because I like Tooie more than Kazooie.
Yeah, Nintendo really fucked up when they decided to let Microsoft buy out the developer.
Yeah, why they decided to not
How do you
fight that
let
with.
your most competent developer slip out of your fingers like that?
Yeah, I have no
Like,
idea.
look at all of the fucking golden goose eggs Rare developed.
Yeah, Donkey
And
Kong, Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong 64, Banjo Kazooie,
Conker's
Conker's Bad
Bad
Fur
Fur
Day.
Day. I never played that either.
I'd love to play Banjo Kazooie with you.
Oh, I love Banjo Kazooie. I genuinely love these games so much.
But
I never finished them, but because my Xbox broke. So yeah,
it
but
couldn't
I
it
also
couldn't comprehend that you were playing nuts and bolts and it just killed itself.
no. Okay, you wanna hear something big?
What?
Nuts and Bolts is my favorite Banjo Kazooie game.
All
I
right. Well, it
love
was nice
that
knowing you,
game.
Nephew. I gotta go. I gotta go.
I
Honestly.
genuinely love that game. Driving around Showdown Town, collecting all the parts. The first world is so freaking cool. I
Nope.
love just
Nope.
building new
Nope.
cars and
Nope.
experimenting with it.
Nope.
The
Nope.
basic, the basic principle of the game is good.
Nope.
The creative problem solving via building your own vehicles. It is a really good idea.
Nope.
A bit crappily done at times, and yes, it should not have been a Banjo Kazooie game by any means, but yeah, I love it. It's my
Like
favorite
Microsoft
game.
does, it takes talent and it withers it away until it is a soulless husk of its
Yeah,
worth.
and I don't care what Cutie says about me having whack taste. Sonic Chronicles is a good game. I will always stand by that.
I don't think I know which one that is.
It's the
it's the one and only Sonic RPG.
on the DS, and it's good, no matter what the people say.
Yeah, but Mario has like, Super Mario RPG,
I mean, yeah, it's
Paper
not as good as Super
Mario,
Mario
Super
RPG. It's
Mario
Mario
not
and
as good as
RPG.
Luigi.
yeah, it's
I
not as good as those, of course.
I am so sad about Mario RPG.
Why? They
Uh,
just remade it recently, didn't they?
because I really really wanted to play it so badly, and then I heard they were making it for Switch, and I was so excited and I bought it, and it was just okay.
Well,
I haven't
my
I played it for like a couple hours, and like it just wasn't doing anything for me, and I felt very sad.
Hmm.
well, it's okay to have a wrong opinion.
Oh yeah,
My friend Danny,
I'm very well aware it's a wrong opinion. That's why I'm so
but
sad about it.
my friend Danny, he like grew up with the Mario RPGs. He played the Mario RPG remake and the
uh,
Thousand Year Door remake. He like
Bowser's
fucking
Inside Story.
he like fucking 100% in Thousand Year Door. Like
Bowser's Inside Story was probably one of the games I played the most as a kid. I was the kind of kid where if I got stuck in a video game, I would just always restart the game and play it from the very beginning again. And that was Bowser's Inside Story for me twice. I got stuck at two different points in the game, and I would constantly reset and just play the game up to that point. And then finally, in like middle school or something, I finally was able to beat the game for the first time. And it's one of my favorite games of all time. Me and Neppy are gonna play it together at some point.
Yeah, I also
Nothing better
seriously
than
hope.
nothing better than messing up Bowser's insides.
Uh huh.
And this is before Bowsette.
I hope we get a part of Paper Mario. I actually want to
I
play
think
that
it's
game.
possible. They would just have to rework the controls.
Oh, but don't you want to play your favorite Mario RPG, Sticker Star?
To be honest, though, I
No,
think the it would take a lot to convince me to play it when I already own it on the Wii.
why are you sucking so much right now?
Because haven't
That's what he
I
said.
haven't done combat in a while. Because
Haven't
I'm
done-
not used to the whatever they're called. The that stuff. Flurry Rush. I haven't done them very often.
Honestly, I don't use Flurry Rush that much. It's just like a very specific thing to do.
I do. I think it's a really well
Yeah.
done combat mechanic.
I just don't use it that much.
Really, and it's because
No.
when I was I
Half
use
the
it
time I
so
forget
much.
it's even a mechanic because, well, usually by this point I would have the Master Sword and the Hylian Shield. I was like, nothing's really a challenge by that point. But though this game is a lot easier than something like Tears. Because if there's
Yeah,
one thing I remember about Tears, is that's
Okay,
fucking
hold on.
hard.
and it has shitty boss fights.
Dude, the fucking... I don't know what it is about these games of just having the lamest boss fights known to man.
I mean,
But
the
man, do
fight
they deliver.
against the wind boss, the ice worm, that was cool.
Well, yeah, but those bosses are pretty much just like 4 or 5 like scenic routes.
I mean, yeah, but it's intended to be the first one, so I don't mind it being a lot easier and a lot more spectacle. But the water boss, that thing is a joke.
Oh my god. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, Sidon...
A weird
Sidon in and of
thing.
himself as a sage is just fucking useless. And I guess that
Yeah, I never
reflected
use
his
his ability.
boss.
It's only used in this boss, otherwise it's useless.
Like,
I think you can
compared
use it
to
Fight
Mifa's
fire
Grace,
characters.
like,
Yeah.
you die, you get a full heal, extra
Plus
hard,
extra health, yeah.
and then there's Sidon's, like, I don't
You
even
send
remember what
out
it
a
was.
water wave.
A water slash. It's like, cool. You're really living
Would
up
it-
to your sister's legacy.
Yeah, like would it at least do a good amount of damage, or like would push away enemies? Then it would be cool.
Like, Tulin's ability is pretty useful.
Even if it's just
Um,
Vivali scale in worse.
Well, Riju's ability, I'd use the hell out of it.
Yeah, Ouija has the best ability.
Because, like, it's just being able to, like, shoot something from far away and have lightning fucking obliterate it is pretty cool.
Yeah, and the Goron's ability can also be at times a bit useful. It can be useful
Dude,
if you don't want to waste explosives.
yeah, it is useful for that because though it's like a roundabout solution to a problem that didn't even exist. Because, like I said, you're just used to having infinite bombs in this game.
Yeah.
I don't even know why they got rid of the Sheikah Slate to begin with, or what even happened to it.
I don't mind I don't mind them getting rid of it and replacing it with new stuff. I just wish that they had made it so that you could also unlock the old stuff again.
Yeah, like
Yeah, like what happened to
extremely late game. Don't get me wrong, but I think
Like,
it could have been cool.
I would have appreciated it as like a post, not really a post game, like something that you'd have to like work to get.
or at least give us
reward
an
is your-
explanation why it doesn't work anymore.
Like your reward is your old powers. Like imagine having not only the sage's abilities but like the champion's abilities too.
You know what? How they should have done it?
Hmm.
Each of the champion now has a grave, and if you go to that grave, you have to do a quest, and if you finish that quest, you get an old ability back.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
My only thing is that I think they would have to make it extremely hard to get, or elsewise you could become extremely powerful way too fast.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It should have been like a ultra hard difficulty thing. Like if you get past it, you get back your old abilities, and you'll basically be like a walking god.
Yeah. Or like you have to defeat a spirit, you have to defeat the champion in combat.
Oh, that'd
That
be
ghost appears and challenges you to combat, and they are all extremely challenging boss fights.
that would have been more respect for the champions as opposed to just not acknowledging them at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure were any of them even mentioned?
They are mentioned. Mifa is mentioned because you go to her statue, but that's.
Yeah,
I
but
don't think.
yeah, Mifa is, but I don't remember the other three.
I think Ryu mentions both one or two times, where Wally isn't mentioned at all. It's implied Vitos have very short lifespans, so it actually would make sense that Wally falls into has forgotten a lot faster than the other champions, simply because the Vito who actually knew him were around for a much shorter time. So there probably generally are barely any Vitos around who even remember him.
Well, they have a whole like space named after him.
Yeah, but
Like
that could
Rito
also
Rito Village honored him long after his death.
yeah, but eventually that is gonna be fall into forgetfulness if all you have is a platform. Like he doesn't even have something like a statue. Like
Or
let's
to
be
build a
honest,
statue on a mountain.
yeah, but let's be honest here, if Rivali would be around and see, oh sure, Mifa gets a statue, and what do I get? A big plank of wood?
Mifa got a statue like fucking that what Daruk gets like a whole mountain carved in his image.
Yeah, and Urbosa is probably remembered forever as one of the greatest and most powerful warrior queens of the Gerudo.
And meanwhile, Rivali's like,
Ravioli is gonna be forgotten by the next two generations.
Do you guys think that the Gerudo Village underground in Tears of the Kingdom is cool?
uh, it's like there's not really a lot to do down there.
Yeah, it's a neat idea that they have like a second underground city in case of emergencies. But yeah,
I do appreciate that they let you in.
yeah, because they realized in such dangerous situations they should maybe let the hero in.
They should have done that in this game, honestly.
Yeah,
Like
like
Link
after you
killed.
prove yourself, after you defeat Naboas, we really should have simply said, "This man has special permission."
Yeah, it's weird that they don't do it in this game.
Yeah, but it's probably her not wanting to break with tradition out of worry, maybe that like how people would react, because she's still such a young queen.
Yeah, I was gonna say that her big thing is like trying to win approval.
Yeah, so maybe she didn't wanna rock the boat a bit too much.
Yeah, I guess
Showing
so.
respect to a man that saved them is one thing, but outright breaking one of the most fundamental traditions of their people is probably.
Also, I remember the underground has like this fucking guy in jail, and there's like not even like a quest to like get him out of there. He's literally just stuck there for the whole game.
I mean,
There's
he,
there's like a single Gerudo guard always there, just watching over him.
that must be a very boring job.
Eh, getting paid to stand around is my ideal job. Also, I'll be honest, one of the only reasons I even go back to Cheers is, well, sometimes I get like the urge to go collect and do more of like the side quests because I still haven't done all the side quests for Tears yet. And like
I
filling
will
out like
say
the
doing
compendium
doing
stuff.
all the tier or the quests for Breath of the Wild is kind of tedious.
Well, it never bothered me that much, but Tears just has a lot more in general. Like Breath of the Wild has like 70 in the base game, and Tears has like 130. So yeah, way
Oh my
more off the
god.
bat. But honestly, sometimes I just boot up Tears to go stare at Pura for a few minutes.
I have a feeling it's gonna be shocked seeing her in this again.
What my biggest problem with Tears of the Kingdom is that all the ancient Sheikah tech is just gone.
That pisses me off so much.
Like, okay, if you make the argument that Calamity, Ganon's Gloom destroyed it all, I can accept that. If it would have been bloody acknowledged in the game.
It wouldn't like Nintendo's fucking excuse that it all just vanished is the laziest second thought shit I've ever heard. Especially considering, especially that that's just not true. Like Pura uses like Guardian tech for the
Yeah,
for
got
the
small guardian legs, yeah.
for the Skyview towers, and the fucking old Guardians are still there on their
Well,
old
what?
lab.
I swear to God, they simply forgot about that one. They simply forgot that it was there, or they didn't want to remodel Hateno Tech Lab. And that's the sole reason why there's still a guardian on top of the lab.
And honestly, I don't even like the Zonai tech that much.
Yeah, it
I don't.
doesn't. I think a big issue I have is that I just don't like the green color.
Well, for me, it's just I don't really. I didn't really get into like the method of like building shit.
I wish I was more creative with it, yeah.
Like I just build the basic stuff to get the job done, but I don't really do it in my free time.
The Zona tech also just flat out doesn't look as good as the Sheikah tech.
Yeah, it's like for an ancient civilization, the fashion taste was pretty fucking poor.
Yeah, like in all honesty, I wish the Zonai had an ancient tech and this was all magic. They should have been the complete opposite of the Sheikah. Not ancient technology, but pure ancient magic. Everything powered by magic.
I feel like the Zonai should have just stayed as like a mysterious lost civilization
Yeah,
because
like I
the
feel,
explanation we got was just
like I'm
not
completely honest,
great.
the Zonai architecture of the tech, of the robots, does not fit what we see in Breath of the Wild of their wounds at all.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah, like it was very clear that what the Zonai are has been completely rewritten. For what it was. Originally, they were just supposed to intend it to be an ancient civilization that lived here, that probably worshipped the three goddesses, considering they have the imagery of the three of the dragons and all that. And they were a barbarian warrior tribe, as you can find the barbarian armor in their labyrinths.
Yeah, let's just throw all that out.
Yeah,
That's
it
pretty
just
much Tears of the Kingdom in a nutshell. Let's just throw all that out.
yeah, it's pretty clear that story-wise they did not care. I know Nintendo never really cares all that much story-wise, but it just feels like an insult. Like a deliberate insult. It genuinely feels at times like Breath of the Wild never happened. That one of the only few things is like that I like that she is now the leader of the Chica. That's a cool bit of character development. Where that she now acts a lot more confident, but you can still sometimes see her nervous old
Yeah, I think
self
it's
shining
a
through.
very good progression of her character.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool to
One
see.
of the rare times they actually progress the story.
Yeah, but otherwise,
See,
from what I don't understand, why is all the new champions, as you can see, the Riju, what's the name of the Goron?
Uh, fuck,
can't
what was his
remember.
name? I can't even remember.
Uh, Goron
Uh,
Boy and Sidon were basically the new champions alongside that white feathered guy in with Zerito. Why was he replaced with his son?
I have no idea, man.
Because he's around. If he had died in between, that would honestly have been cool. Say he died during the upheaval. He died defending the village. That would have given his son then a tragic story and motivation to fight against the calamity. And you could even say that he developed his technique by not only trying to emulate Rivali, but also by trying to make his father proud. And
No, that would have
that's
required good storytelling. That being Tears doesn't have that.
yeah,
It's
like
so
you
mean.
could you
Well, it's
could have
true. Tears'
yeah,
story
it
just
is.
fucking sucks.
It
It
barely has a
sucks.
story. Like we can't even. And on top of that is we can't even agree how the bloody heck the story even works. Is it a
Like,
finished time loop? Is every time Zelda travels back in time she creating a new timeline? Uh, there is no explanation for anything. It just is confusing. We don't
like
even know when these flashbacks happen. Do they happen before even Skyward Sword? Do they happen
it's
right after?
it's just that time travel is a very delicate thing to get right, and it is rarely done right. Like
Mm-hmm.
Steins Gate does it right. Um,
Absolutely.
what
What they
other
should have
fucking
done,
game does it right?
Link and Zelda should have gone into the past together.
Yeah, but that
And
means Zelda would have to stick around, and they don't
yeah,
want that in your
and you then
Zelda
only fight
game.
Ganondorf
You're
for the final
supposed to
boss.
save Zelda, dummy. What would
Oh yeah, and
having
then
her
there
as
is
a
the ancient
companion do
hero
for you?
and that whole mess. What he is.
I will admit though, the stuff they did with her sacrificing herself to become the dragon was like genuinely like heartbreaking.
Yes, I kind of wish they didn't reverse it.
I'm happy that they reversed it,
I mean, I'm happy
but
too, but story-wise, it would have made more sense
Well, it's
if
just
it.
that her sacrifice at the end doesn't really mean much because she says she doesn't remember anything. And
Yeah.
like basically in a sense, like she was a dragon for like 10,000 years, doesn't remember a lick of it. And like it's
Personally,
basically
I
like she was put into a long sleep,
yeah, but
more or less.
honest, yeah, which we already had a Zelda that has been asleep for centuries. That's literally the plot of Zelda 2.
Also, like, okay, I don't got the fucking where do I even start? The the Sky Islands weren't there
Yeah, they're by the
When
cloud
we met
barrier.
Ganondorf. They oh my god. Ganondorf knows who Link and Zelda are. But
Yeah,
in that
so
point of the
clearly,
story, Zelda and Link hadn't or Zelda hadn't traveled back in time yet. And the Sky Islands didn't even exist yet. Or if I don't even know how they got there.
I mean,
I
the islands in the sky have existed since the time of Skyward Sword, and in Skyward Sword, it's because of the cloud barrier that you can see it. That barrier is never destroyed or vanishes, so the Sky Islands were always there. We can't just see them because the cloud barrier is still active during Breath of the Wild. We see the dragons vanish into it.
oh, okay. I was so fucking confused because they never explain where the
I thought
islands
that
come
they
from.
said that the Skylands came from the ground.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but
yeah, they
the
have to
Sky
come from
Islands
some.
existed 10,000 years ago. So,
We don't know how the Sky Islands were originally created, besides that Hylia sent the Sky Islands up into the sky when she fought the mice. Or at the
and
very least, Skyloft she sent upwards. If she did send all Sky Islands up is not clear. Could be, could not be. Let's just say Hylia sent all the Sky Islands one upon a time into the sky. Then, most likely, assuming the flashbacks in Tears of the Kingdom take place long after Skyward Sword, the humans that remained on the Sky Islands became the Wind Tribe. Then they became those weird chicken things in Twilight Princess, and then they became the Zonai. And then the Zonai came back to down to Earth, saw the destroyed Hyrule, established the new kingdom of Hyrule, then apparently died all out. We have no idea what happened to the rest of the Zonai. Then Zelda appeared out of the
wasn't
past.
it they said that
Wait, they
whatever the
left?
fuck his name was, that only two of them had left. It was the king and his sister
Okay, yeah,
that
then
came down
Waru.
to like basically like found Hyrule
Yeah.
that created it, and they were the only ones that came down because the rest were like, yeah, nah, I'm not fucking with humans.
Yeah, then okay, then make all of that, and yeah, then Zelda traveled back in time. The events from the flashbacks take place. Ganondorf is sealed away, and Zelda becomes a dragon, and most
Okay. Here's my next
likely
question then. Where the Light Dragon been around for 10,000 years? Where the fuck was it in Breath of the Wild?
behind the cloud barrier.
Was it
It simply never
Yeah,
left.
I can believe that.
It is
for
possible that
10,000 years?
yeah, it's possible that Zelda, even as a dragon, subconsciously still knew I cannot go down there. I cannot risk falling into the Calamity's hands, and
What
that is
about
why
the
she always.
glyphs?
Those are created from the tears.
Yeah, but those tears were like when she first turned into a dragon, wasn't it?
Actually,
And
no, I
but
think they are from her flying around recently.
No, yeah, it's a recent thing.
Yeah,
okay, because it also
Because
like
she after the
ha-
events of the first game,
it's not stated how
something in her made her come back down, and then she started leaving the tears.
okay
yeah, like
because
the last tier we actually see create the rune.
okay because what was I gonna say? Shit. What
Yeah,
was I gonna
because
say?
nothing of that is in Breath of the Wild. Yeah, the real explanation is simply because they hadn't thought of it yet, and so of course couldn't implement it in any way into Breath of the Wild.
I do think that in terms of like the dragon, though, I think that is a very good explanation for it.
Yeah, like it simply never left the cloud barrier. Maybe it even only came down because the upheaval shattered the cloud barrier. Like clearly it's not there anymore. We don't see the dragons vanish when they go into the sky. They just
Also, the fact that there's two Master Swords.
yeah, there were two Master Swords present for a very long period of time. Until Link sent the past Master Sword into the past, the present Master Sword into the past, which then became the past Master Sword, which then became the new present Master
Which
Sword.
doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever because Link literally sent the Master Sword back into the past, even though the dragon would have still had the Master Sword in it.
No, that makes
Which
perfect
kind of
sense.
Because
no,
shit has been
because
sent
it
back into the
doesn't
past.
actually. It doesn't because this kind of
It's a
Link
time
at this
loop.
point has woken up. The Light Dragon has the Master Sword in it, but
Yeah.
Link sends the decayed Master Sword back to the past
And
to
then Zelda becomes
Zelda.
a dragon and has the sword in her forehead.
But this is
Okay,
this is
look,
why I
okay,
fucking this
okay.
is why I fucking hate time travel
No, okay,
so
listen.
goddamn much because
We
the
have the
Light
event.
Dragon.
Let me try to
No,
explain it. I want to explain it. How we have the original Master Sword in Breath of the Wild, which is from whatever before. Link gets it in at the beginning of Tears of the Kingdom. It's broken. He sends it back in time. So yes, at that time there is two of them that exist at the same time. But then
no,
he
but I
sends
mean,
it back
how
in
does
time,
he
so there
send
is
it?
once again only one.
How does he
The
send it
Zonai
back?
technology.
He's asking how he's sending it back in the first place. That
No,
is
I'm asking how he sends it back to a time that has since already passed.
the rewind.
How is he sending it back to Zelda, the Zelda that's currently a dragon? And
No, she
if
isn't a dragon.
Dude,
She gets it before she
you're
turns into a
you're
dragon.
basically asking why is there time travel?
it
She
just
gets it before she turns into a dragon, holds it, and then when she transforms into a dragon, it just becomes lodged into her forehead somehow. Don't ask me how. As to how it is sent back in time, the rewind ability, how that exactly works is not explained. Shut up, just accept it. At least that's how Nintendo
dude,
thinks
that
process.
that explanation that Zelda's light powers were being held back by her time powers is such a bullshit retcon. Like it just I don't even know how to describe it. It
Yeah, in
just
all
feels
honesty, they should
like
just not have gone with time travel, at least not in this shape or form. They should
it
simply
just
said,
makes Zelda's struggles feel lesser, I guess, because I don't know. Zelda doesn't even use it
I think time
that
she
travel
much.
used
could
it
have been fine.
once.
It's just that they didn't really do it right.
Yeah, it's just
Like
too contrived.
They already
some
they
part.
did time travel already in Ocarina, and
I
that
think
was
To be fair,
some
fine.
that
yeah.
was just as contrived.
I think some parts of it work, Like, to me, the Master Sword stuff, I think that's fine. I think that makes sense. That makes sense to me. But I do
It just
understand the
breaks.
stuff about, like, the
It
stuff,
just kind
basically
of
everything else
breaks
with the
my
zoning.
brain thinking about it
Well, yeah, that's just
because
all time travel always does that.
no,
Yeah, like
because
if in Ocarina of Time 2, you learn the Song of Storms from this guy in the future, but then you go back into the past and you are the one who teaches him the Song of Storms.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
close. It's
paradox.
okay,
a
It is
well,
yeah.
not possible.
Link casually breaking time is honestly
Yeah,
something
that's
he'd do because he's stupid.
this is the time. This is the type of time travel plot where you are simply supposed to shut off your brain and don't think about it too
I mean,
much.
Yeah,
it's because of time travel that we have the timeline the way that it is in the first place.
okay, but
Yeah,
but but here's my thing about the Master Sword thing because the Light Dragon already has the Master Sword in her head because Link sent the Master Sword back to her, which implies that there was already another version of events that played out that where Zelda got the Master Sword from Link, but Link hadn't. Whatever. I'm fucking done. I'm done
That's how.
thinking
That's
about
just
this
how.
shit.
That's how paradoxes work. You can't really
yeah, like
question it. You can't question it because that's how they work. There
you
is no.
basically
There
have to.
is no pure logic to it because it's a paradox.
Yeah, the
It's a.
events basically have already happened, but at the same time they have not happened. For
It's
Zelda, they already have happened. For Link, they have not yet happened. Time travel is extremely
That's
complicated.
that's why the way that that's why I think the correct form of time travel is that thing. If you go back in time and do something, that thing already happened in the first place.
That's how Harry Potter does it.
Because
Time travel
yeah,
is basically not possible.
because
Yes, you can go back in time, but you can't change anything because the things you have happened have already happened.
because otherwise it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, or the Dragon Ball way, if you change anything in the past, you just create a new timeline and you can't change the future in any
Yeah,
way, shape, or form.
I think that's a good backup. But I
Yeah.
think the best form of time travel is everything that you have that you do already happened.
also
That's
they
how it
don't
is.
they don't acknowledge the the Zonai hero at all. They
Yeah,
have
like
like a
you.
costume for him, but they don't acknowledge him or really
Yeah,
bother
it
to
doesn't make
explain
any
him
sense
at
who that guy
all.
even is. Like the only explanation I can think of is he's a descendant of Wawu, like he's Wawu and Sonia's son. Or their late descendant, like their grandson, and that is why he has some Zonai traits left, but they already have started vanishing. But that doesn't explain the red hair, that would explain some, that would mean also some Gerudo ancestry. Honestly, they should have gone with the popular fan theory that Ganondorf was the hero, slayed Calamity Ganon, and they got corrupted. That would have
That
been so much
requires
cooler.
good storytelling.
Yeah. But yeah, time travel always. That's how the Legacy of Kain series handles it too. It basically says that your fate is set in stone. If you go back in time to try and change fate, that is part of your fate and you can't change it. The only exception being the main character Raziel, because his spirit and body are separated, and due to that he is disconnected. But yeah, time travel is always
I mean
very complicated
that's
of a
part of the reason
subject.
people hated the Cursed Child so much. That's because Harry Potter specifically had a specific set of time
Yeah, and
travel
this
rules,
breaks all the rules.
and then they just said no. Actually, this specific time turner they can break the rules.
If
Especially in
only
such
that was the
dumb
most
ways.
problematic thing about the author.
Yeah, and also in so dumb ways. Why would being humiliated by the Triwizard Tournament lead Cedric to becoming a Death Eater? Like, okay, some of the time travel stuff I can understand. Like, Hermione saw two Durmstrang boys sabotage Cedric, and because of that believed From had something to do with it and didn't agree to go on a date with him.
This
Okay,
reminds me
that
of the time
that makes
travel
sense.
shit from Prisoner of Azkaban. It's like basically just an infinite loop of shit.
Well, no,
Yeah, essentially.
that's the thing. That is a closed time loop. Everything that already
Yeah,
happened.
they always.
But in Cursed Child, they give them a special time turner that can break the rules, and that's
Which
why
makes.
people hated it because it's a time. You have this item, a time turner, which can only go back like up to however many hours,
Yeah,
and
like
everything
technically
that you
infinitely,
do,
but you have to spin it.
yeah,
Like if you wanted to go back a day, you would have to spin it 24 times.
and everything that you do already happened.
Yeah, you already have done it,
But then
Yeah, the
and they
Prisoner of
show that.
Azkaban,
in
like
Cursed Child, they
they
have a special one that not only can go back years in time, but also can create new timelines. And that was just one of the reasons people hated it, was because that's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, the other reason they hated it is because Harry is completely out of character.
I mean, I
Oh
never fully
boy,
agreed
what
with
else is
that.
new?
I mean, he gives his daughter pool wings with the if she can fly. I don't remember what he gave to his other son, but he gives his youngest son, the son that was just sorted into Slytherin, the son he knows is not doing well, that has no friends besides one other boy that is also a social outcast, and he gives him a bloody blanket. And then he says, "Yes, I also sometimes wish you weren't my son." I'm sorry, but
What
I
is
refuse
with
to believe.
protagonists growing up and becoming shitty fathers?
Yeah, like I refuse to believe that Harry Potter, the guy who from the very beginning wished nothing more but a family, would ever tell one of his children, "I wish you weren't my child."
It
I
probably says a lot
absolutely.
about these people that they just don't have great family lives.
Yeah, like, okay, you can make the argument Harry has no idea about parenting because he was raised by the Dursleys. That is a fair argument, but he knows how proper parents are supposed
It
to
should
act.
say
He
something when
Yeah, he
fucking
was.
Goku, who is raised in a mountain, is a better father.
I mean, he had the Weasleys too, so it's
Yeah,
like
like
he
the
had an
Weasleys.
example of good
If he
parenting.
needed, yeah, if he needed parenting tips, Arthur was more than happy to sit down with him and give him some advice.
I just don't understand why these protagonists who lack a family and want a family of their own then proceed to become a terrible family member.
Yeah, that's
Like it
just.
happened with Naruto. Like
To
they
be fair,
decided to just
Naruto at
make
least
him the
has the
shittiest
excuse that.
father on fucking planet Earth for some reason.
At least Naruto at least has the excuse that he has to work an entire village all the time. But even then, even Zarutobi had time for his grandson. So
The
clearly, Naruto has no
fucking
excuse.
birthday
Especially because.
scene is the most
Especially because.
inexcusable shit I have ever seen because of his fucking shadow clones can do his job so he can go and celebrate his daughter's fucking birthday.
Yeah, but instead of going himself, he sends the Shadow Clone.
Yeah, which is just bullshit because his shadow clones are basically sentient on their own.
Yeah, he could just have left his Shadow Clone at work. Yeah, okay, he was exhausted. And maybe he didn't want to show up exhausted, but I think that would have meant even
Showing up
more.
exhausted is better than not showing up at all.
Yeah, and then puffing out of existence and making your daughter's cake crash onto the ground.
God, I'm tired. How long have we been recording? Like 2.5 hours?
3.
Shit.
But yeah, I also don't know why that is such a popular trend. I think it's supposed to be a new challenge for them, but honestly, I just want to see them being a good dad. Okay, parenting problems is fine and good, but then have the problems come from something else and not just them being bad at parenting.
Goku was literally raised in a mountain and he knows how to raise a child.
Yeah, like he knows when he has to step down. When Chi scolds him, he knows, yeah, okay, this is not my area of expertise. I want to stay out of this. I let Chi handle this. And Goku has at least the excuse that half of the time he's dead.
Half of
It's
the
a
time, it's
valid
not even his
excuse.
fucking fault. Like, villains just keep popping out of nowhere.
Yeah,
If he
okay,
had the
granted,
choice
he
between
could have.
fighting and being a family man, he'd be a family man. I don't care what Super says.
Yeah, no,
Z
I hate
had him
Super.
perfectly content with being a family man and not fighting.
Yeah, like, okay, yeah, that he still has the itch and goes training, that's of course fine. Heck,
Like,
Chichi
Z
probably
had
doesn't even
him,
mind that.
like, be out of practice from fighting because he was raising a family. If you only watched Super, you'd think nothing on his mind would be more than just training. And that just doesn't fit with his character at all. It's one of the fucking reasons why I hate
Yeah,
Super so much because they cannibalize Goku's character.
yeah, like, okay, and then there's of course the scene where it's implied that Goku doesn't know what kissing is.
Yes, I've given this woman 2 babies, but I don't know how to
Yeah,
kiss.
I have rationalized it in my mind that he simply doesn't know what mouth to mouth is. That's what he was confused about. He wasn't confused about the act of kissing. He was confused. Why is Trunks kissing someone that was unconscious? I don't get it. Like he doesn't know what CPR is, and that's why he was confused. Not that he doesn't know what kissing is, because
Just give
he
her a
knows what
senzu
kissing
bean,
is.
bro. What's the problem?
Goku in the fun part is Vegeta in turn is great in Super. I love Vegeta.
Vegeta
It,
is a family man.
yeah, that's just hilarious, and it makes perfect sense in my eyes. His character development is perfect, executed, from bloodthirsty conqueror to a family man that refuses to leave his pregnant wife. While Goku says, "Oh come on, what's the big deal?"
In which, in a scenario that Goku would never fucking say that
Yeah,
in his
but
life.
I see more things that Goku says. I know this is important, but this is important too, and it will not take long. I know you are unsure about this, but we really need you here. That is more for something what Goku will say.
This is
Not,
important to her. I mean,
yeah.
Goku literally had an entire fucking speech to Vegeta about how his family was dead to like get Vegeta to wake up.
Abridged Goku is a better character than Super Goku. And that's a fan parody
Like
of.
Goku was comically like childish in Team Four Star, and Super
Yeah, once
Goku
they
was
have
just
figured out
like
his character.
infuriatingly brain dead.
Yeah.
Like Toriyama, um, Z was not a result of purely Toriyama's writing. It was a result of his editors, like pushing him in a direction
Yeah, like he originally
that,
wanted it to end at the Frieza saga.
Oh
That was his.
God.
Oh yeah, you are here. Yeah. Like
dude,
the
this
originally the
fucking,
Frieza
I
saga
literally
was
just
supposed
turned
to
the
be
thing
the end.
upside down. I literally just turn it upside down and roll the ball off that way because it's much easier to just deal with this stupid shit.
Yeah, like the
See what
Dragon
you
Ball
can
was
do.
originally.
Here, watch this. You can like
Nailed it.
fling. You can like fling it off there if you know what you're
I
doing.
also always just fling it off.
Anyway, my original point was that Toriyama was purely a comedy based writer.
Yes, a comedy is his bread and butter.
Like Doctor Slump was a comedy series,
Yeah,
and
Dragon
at
Ball was
first,
an adventure comedy series.
yeah, Dragon
Fuck.
Ball's roots are in comedy. Z, I mean, Dragon Ball did have a serious moment on occasion, but
Yeah,
Z
like when
was pretty
Krillin
much like
first died.
a completely tonal and writing
What?
departure from. What the fuck did you do?
I accidentally
She
pressed the
dropped
button.
a switch.
Did you fling yourself? What?
I accidentally dropped the controller.
Okay.
Wait, it worked! Oh my
Okay, so if you wanna beat this puzzle, just throw your switch.
But yeah, the comedy. That is why I may be honest. I think I'm in the more minority of this, but the Buu saga is my favorite saga of Z
Look,
because it focuses more on the comedy aspect.
I just don't like Toriyama's style of comedy. Like his whole thing is like, haha, poop, funny. Like toilet humor is just like
Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
lowest
he
forms
has a
of
bit
humor.
of a childish humor. That is why I prefer more my favorite character in the Frieza saga are the Ginyu Force.
Well, yeah, the Ginyus are like, it's because
They they're evil
they
Power
don't really
Rangers.
rely on toilet. They're basically just parodies of like Power Rangers or Super
Yeah, we have
Sentai.
the gimmicky one, the green gimmicky one. We have the big muscle one, and abridged ran with this. Like the abridged Ginyus are absolutely hilarious, especially Rikku.
The name's Raccoon.
It
It
rides the
rides with
doom,
doom.
and
And
I'm gonna
you're
put you
gonna
in your
be
tomb
hurting.
all
Oh,
too
doom,
soon.
doom. Like I fucking love Raccoon in
And
TFS.
at Barter and Jay's friendship. Too bad they never got at Spacies. At Space
Dude,
Australia.
the fucking joke of Jace getting punched in the face. That was like the first time I ever legitimately like cried laughing because it was just so
What?
fucking funny.
What does the captain say I should do in this moment? Just always remember if someone repeatedly punches you in the face, you cut off the captain. Are you gonna dodge any of this? Oh wait, that's what the captain said.
Jace, what did I tell you? Like literally when they come back to fight Goku and he just punches him in the face again, caught me so off guard. It was so fucking funny.
And then Vegeta scream when he realizes the Dragon Ball isn't there anymore.
That must have been a toll on his throat because
It
that
was.
scream still
He
haunts
says
me to this
they have
day.
a whole series where they comment on the episodes, and he even says you can hear the point where I actually damaged my vocal cords, where I
I
broke
mean,
my
I don't
voice.
doubt it. That scream was primal.
Do you think
Yeah.
everybody should always have the context of the show in mind before watching an abridged?
It
Yes, like
definitely helps because a bridge
you get
series,
more of the references.
yeah, because like Team Four Star, like DBZ Bridge is just filled to the brim with references that even having watched Dragon Ball Z, I still don't know some of that shit
Yeah.
because
Also, for
there's like
example,
references to like other dubs that I didn't get,
hmm like
like
Reddit's voice actor changing in the first episode.
Whiskers the Wonder Cat. It was something from an actual dub that I
Yeah,
didn't
where one
even
of the
know about.
characters was called Whiskers the Wonder Cat for some reason. But
And Piccolo's like yes, 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 I can win. I feel great. That was from the fucking dub too. And I'm
yeah,
like, Jesus, you guys are just fucking nerds. But I love that about this series because they are legitimately like the biggest fucking Dragon Ball nerds.
yeah, but you
So
can enjoy it if you haven't seen Dragon Ball.
yeah,
You just
Right.
won't get many of the jokes.
like Cell's whole Goku like fought like an army, several demons, and sent a rabbit to the moon. And Trunks is like, did you make that shit up?
Yeah, no, he said a rabbit to the moon. And where he was making mochi until Muten Roshi blowed it up.
And then the fucking joke about Cell like telling all of Dragon Ball to that fucking reporter, and the reporter gets into it.
And of course, Jimmy Firecracker.
It's just shit like that. That like TFS really just does adores Dragon Ball to its core.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and
I was gonna
a
ask, do
which
you guys want to keep going, or do you want to
I
stop
can
here
keep
for a
going.
night?
Honestly, I'm pretty fucking spent. Like I didn't
Okay.
expect to keep recording this long. Like I thought, oh, we'll just record for an hour. It'll be fine. I haven't even eaten dinner yet.
I
I
know I
haven't even
haven't I
taken my
haven't either.
pants
That's
off yet.
that's kind of why I was like wanting to ask.
Okay, if you two guys want to stop, that's fine.
But this was so much fun.
Yeah. When do you want to do this again?
Uh,
I can anytime.
I can do next Monday if that works for you.
Yeah. I just hope you're willing to wait until 5 again
Yeah, that's
because
that's
I'm
that's
always
perfectly fine.
Yeah, sure.
I always work until 5 on Mondays.
Yeah,
All right,
No
we can
problemo.
wait until next Monday then.
because Mondays are when
Yay.
me and Neppy record anyway.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, well, I will see you then. Then
See
Yep.
y'all
yeah,
later for the next
Bye.
I hope you all enjoyed watching.
I hope you enjoyed our sick jokes.
And
I don't even
clever
remember half
clever
of them at this
commentary
point.
and rage over Tears of the Kingdom.
And us just geeking out about Dragon Ball Abridged at the end.
It was very fun to listen. I couldn't participate in the conversation, but it was very fun to listen to.
But yeah, we'll see you guys later. I am going to tune out and go put some food in me because I am
Yay!
I'm
hungry.
going to bed because it's almost 4 p.m.
You mean AM?
a.m. Yeah, a.m.
4 a.m. Jesus,
Okay.
you don't even sound tired.
Yeah, I completely fucked up my sleep schedule.
All right.
Obviously.
Until next time, everybody. Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye.